Okay, another experiment today. So lately I've been recording something here in the forest, and the footage has kind of green cast to it because light is bouncing off the green leaves and all the foliage, and that's why everything is green, and the camera is not aware. It's like that my brain switches automatically, so for the brain it's as usual, but for the camera it has a green tint. So today I got this to see if I can fix it. And I also have Sekonic C800 to see what is the actual color temperature of the sun. So we will see, because I will be probably in the shadow. I'm not sure. Maybe I will try to record some parts in the shadow, some parts in the direct sun. We'll see. And I don't have any light, so the setup is really minimal. It's like one bag and this stand. So I have also two sets of the ND filters. So one set is IRNDs from Vaxis, which are kinda neutral. So I doubt I have to adjust anything for them, color-wise and color temperature-wise. They are like 100 CCT tops, the offset. So I guess it's not worth it to fix it. But with the ColorChecker, I actually have to be able to like dial in the proper colors. And I also have variable ND filter, also from Vaxis, which has terrible color cast and also terrible color temperature cast. So for this one I would have to adjust definitely, because if I set the CCT to the normal one, then it would be really off. Although maybe I can use auto white balance, but I kinda doubt it. So let's see if it's possible to fix the color cast with the ColorChecker. And I have like 1.5 hours before a really severe storm, so I have to be quick, and something is already beating me. But today I have bug repellent, so it shouldn't be that bad. So see you in the location. Okay, so the setup looks like this. I have 3 stops of ND. Not sure it's enough, but I will check in a second. And the white balance is set to 5600 Kelvin. I will check the color passport in a second, and also check with the Sekonic what is the color cast and color temperature of the sun. I'm in a usual location, but I'm shooting the other way around. So I have a sun in front of me, so sun is my key today. And I have to check. It seems the exposure might be okay, but it also might be okay with 4 stops ND. I have 3 at the moment, and it is f2.8 55mm Zeiss. This is just a S-Log recording from the camera, no adjustments, so color temperature is at 5600 Kelvin, which in theory the sun is. I try to run my Sekonic C800 to see what the readings are. I can actually record it. I can more or less check the exposure with these two. So let me see. Okay, so the reading is 585 Kelvin. So actually it is regarding the color temperature, it is okay. There is some delta UV, which is 0071, whatever that means, and SSID compared to daylight is 96%. So it is kinda off of of the ideal daylight, and I'm being beaten even though I used Muga. So I'm recording to two mic minis, actually to one I hope. So I'm recording directly with the mic mini. So that's the reading, so I wouldn't adjust the auto white balance in the camera, because it reads the almost 5600 Kelvin. But I will try to expose this. I'm not sure, it should be here or here, and I have to not cover any of the cells, and then I will try in DaVinci Resolve recover the colors. Of course the sun went behind the cloud, so the tint is probably smaller, but when the sun is out, then the tint is kinda horrendous. So at the moment this is not adjusted, but I will try to adjust it in a second, in post of course. And that's with constant IRND from Vaxis. I'm being beaten again, so there shouldn't be any cast from the ND filter. So that's how it looks like, and I would love to see the sun, but probably I won't have it. So I guess I will switch to this VND from Vaxis, and then I will try to also fix this color cast both from the environment, which is green color cast, and some color cast from the VND. I'm not sure exactly what is that color cast, but I tested some time ago all my filters, the link here, and you can see how bad some of the filters are in terms of skewing the CCT and the color cast, like green magenta cast. So they are not neutral, and even some of them got names, like neutral, color neutral, natural colors, blah blah blah. It's bullshit. Only constant and these might have zero color cast, although this one, I guess they have small impact on the CCT. And I've been of course researching wind-up stands, and seems I got some kind of the consensus which one to buy. It's Avenger, and the funny thing is that there are two models. One is from Manfrotto, the other one is from Avenger, and they seems to be exactly the same. The pro of the Manfrotto one is that Manfrotto is black, but the Avenger one is sold with big casters, and these casters alone are quite expensive, so I'm not sure which one to buy. Maybe I have to contact Manfrotto and ask them if actually these wind-up stands are exactly the same. I don't know. Avenger is Avenger, so in theory it's better thing than Manfrotto, but actually it's a one company, so it's just probably different sticker, and all of them are produced in China. And there is nothing similar from Kupo. From Kupo you have either low-end wind-up stands which 30 kilo load, and high-end wind-up stands which are really big and clunky, and the price is like 4K. And from Avenger, actually there is also a mid tire, so the low tire is $500, the mid tire is 1.5K, and the top tire is 4K. So I'm kinda leaning toward this mid tire, because the maximum load is between 60 and 80 kilos, and they are quite tall, up to 4 meters, almost 4 meters. And of course this top tire is great, because it is maybe from the Avenger one is not 4K, it's less than 4K, it's like 3.5 maybe. So it is like twice as expensive, but it's also more than twice as tall. and got, I think, a bit bigger load. I mean, it has the same load at the maximum extension. Since it might rain any second, I will switch the filter to the VND and then see how big is the impact of the filter. And unfortunately maybe today the impact of the environment is not that big, but last video I recorded here was definitely with the green tint. So I'm switching to the other filter. Okay, now the setup looks like that. I have this set to 3 stops of ND, and this is Vaxis ND filter. So I wonder if there is any tint to it. So let me check it. And this filter also, I can also fix the polarization, but with the S-Log recording I'm not able to actually see it, so I will leave it as it is. So now I have again 3 stops of ND, but this time it is Vaxis VND, which has a color cast to it and color temperature cast. So let me record this thing, and maybe closer to my face. Okay. And I wonder if there is any visible tint, and if so, if I can fix it in post using the passport. And now actually the sun goes out of the clouds, kinda. It's like behind less dense clouds, so I can see that I have almost 1 stop higher exposure. So the question is, I guess I should expose this again, because the color cast might be different. And I wonder what is now the Sekonic reading. I would of course prefer to have both situations on both filters, but when I swapped the filter the sun came out. So now the reading is totally different. It's 5200 Kelvin, 5285 actually. The delta UV is different, but actually the SSID is better, and of course it is going behind the clouds already. So like this part, these few seconds might be, I can of course memorize this reading. So actually this part when the sun was out might be also off because of the light source. So what can you do? Of course I can expose it again, because the condition changed. Now even though the sun is behind the cloud, is +1 EV, so maybe actually this filter at 3 stops is less powerful than the other one. So I can actually adjust it in a second. So, and regarding the wind-ups, I guess I would choose the Avenger, because the Avenger comes with 200mm wheels. So actually the max reach, I'm not sure it's 4 meters or 386, because that's kind of vague, because the other one from Manfrotto has the same reach without the wheels. So maybe with wheels it has 4 meters. I have to investigate this when I get it, but I would get it probably late August or maybe even in September. It depends how fast they can deliver and how fast I can get my money. Okay, so I'm going to 4 stops. That might be too much, but actually I have now 0 exposure, so in theory it's too much, because for S-Log it should be higher, but it's hard to say. Anyway, this filter and most of the ND filters has different color cast at different ND settings. So when you turn them, the color cast changes. So I can read it again, and I hope if there is any color cast I can fix this in post using the passport. But I guess now the ND setting is too high. So I'll switch back to 3 stops. Yeah, and I have Mic Mini. I mean, and I have the, and now the sun is out. It's really annoying. But +1 EV in S-Log, it should be okay. Maybe I should also use the zebras, but I'm quite away, like 3 meters from the camera, so it's not really easy to see, even if the zebras are on the monitor. I would like to have some footage in the shady conditions and some footage in sunny conditions, but it's really not possible to have it with the same filter because it changes so fast. So I mean, I think I have both with this filter, but I don't have sunny condition with the previous one. So what I can do, so I think I'll come back to the place with less trees and see if there is any color cast from the trees. I mean, I cannot check this really without a filter, so it's hard to say, but I guess I can at least record with those two filters to see if there is any difference in the color cast kinda outside of this green foliage. Okay, so I'm in a different location, still using screw-on VND, and this is the clearing. So I had to adjust the VND to actually 5 stops because the other way it was overexposed, and now it is at +0.3, which probably is underexposed in S-Log. It's hard to say. So it might be actually not exposed properly. It was a bit brighter 30 seconds ago, but the storm is coming, so I should adjust the VND. Okay, now I have it at around 4 stops and it's +0.7. I mean, probably the stops on this filter are not really exact. So I will expose to my card. I guess the tint now is only from the filter, but there is still a lot of green foliage, so maybe there is still some color cast on my face from the light bounced from the foliage. It might be the case. The light is really soft because it's behind the clouds, so yeah. I will try also to take a reading with the Sekonic. So now it says 676 Kelvin. The delta UV is 0043 and SSID is 94, but the light intensity is almost 5000 lux, so it is a lot. So actually, in theory, I should have 5 stops of ND, but judging from the exposure from the camera, the 4 are okay. So yeah, that's with the screw-on VND, and I wonder if I can fix it in post if there is any color tint. I mean, the problem is that I really cannot like have a natural colors because there would be some tint everywhere. Yeah, so for example, in my backyard there is also really high green tint because I have a really tall green hedge and a really green, maybe not that green, but green lawn. So there is almost always a tint. So if I'm able to fix it with my passport, it would be great. I mean, that tint is probably, most people don't see it, but for me it's kind of annoying, so yeah, I would try to fix it. And I don't have much of a positive experience using the passport, but maybe I was wrong, and I'm not sure on which node I should use it. So should it be like at the first node or should it be the last node, or maybe something in between? Because if I should log, I have at least 3 nodes, because one node is for conversion from S-Log to wide gamut to DaVinci. Then I have a node, I change the exposure and all of this stuff, and then I have a node for the export, so it changes wide gamut to Rec 709, so I'm able to upload it to YouTube, for example. Anyway, so I will attach the other filter, but I have to add one additional stop and see if there is a difference between this one and IRND. Okay, now I have 4 stops of IRND, so constant ND filters. There are 2 combined, so 3 stops and 1 stop. And I'm not sure there is a change. It is some degree. So SSID is 93, so now the sun is not that sunny, and the CCT is 6133 Kelvin. So I'm not adjusting this in camera. Maybe the quite good experiment will be to also adjust the camera to the reading of the Sekonic. So maybe I will do this in a second, but at the moment I want to see if I can actually fix it with this. I mean, if this is the camera that records RAW, I guess it would be a breeze to fix it, but since it does not record RAW, and actually it records, maybe in S-Log it records S-Log gamma, it does not record Rec 709 or Rec 2020. So that's at 5600 Kelvin, and with the tint, if there is any tint from the foliage, and also if there is any tint from the different CCT from the sun actually. So I guess now I would change the CCT in camera and see if that helps in any way. But I guess I would do another reading. It is still 6100 and delta UV is 004. So I would remember this. Okay, so now again 4 stops of IRND, so constant ND, and the exposure is +0, so it might be too dark. But I set the camera to 6100 Kelvin because that's the reading from the Sekonic. And now I will record the passport. So if there is any color cast from the foliage, I can in theory fix it in post. I mean, I wonder if this cast is even visible, but also each lens has some color cast. For example, if I shoot with Sigma and Samyang, this is like night and day, because Sigma got kinda warm and yellow tint to it, and Samyang has a bit cooler, maybe not that cool, but a bit cooler, and has definitely green cast, any Samyang. So even some people say, oh, you got a Samyang look, it's really green, because it is the case. So that's how it looks with the camera set to, in theory, proper CCT. And I wonder if, I mean, you can also set a color cast in camera to offset the color cast from the environment, in theory. But in this case, I mean, now the sun is behind the clouds, so, and it will be behind the clouds till the end of the day, so it's not a problem. But if sun goes out and behind the clouds, that's really annoying, because first of all you have to change CCT, and then you have to also change the tint, which is weird. Or maybe you can use auto white balance, but I'm not sure it is really that great of the idea. I mean, the best camera in this case would be something that records RAW, and you can change anything in post. That would be great. So I've heard that FX6 should be able to record some RAW formats, or it's already capable of doing so with firmware 4.0. I'm not 100% sure. Not sure about the FX3. So, you know, I'm shooting Sony, so I won't switch to anything else. Although I have Blackmagic camera, so maybe I can test Blackmagic in the same scenario and see. I mean, I already know that Blackmagic is quite good, although if you, for example, shoot in 3200 Kelvin, but the actual light sources are 56, you are not able to recover all the colors, so it's not that easy. but other than that, it is much more flexible than something like that records S-Log, for example. So yeah, I will have to review the footage on the bigger screen to see if there is any color cast. I bet there is some cast when I was inside the forest, so between the trees and bushes, definitely some green cast. I'm not sure what color cast has this size 55 millimeters. It has some, but I don't remember what is it. So there are actually three things impacting the color, you can see. So the lens, the filter, plus the environment, and it depends on the light source and also depends on the color of the environment. It's like basically everything here is green. There are some brown trees, but it's like 5% tops of all the colors you can see in the shot and all colors around you, so they bounce the light on me, and that's why I'm kinda color casted with green. Yeah, so I would review this on big screen. Maybe it's totally stupid idea, I don't know, but in theory this should help fix the color cast, and I will see how viable it is, and that's it. Cheers, mate. Okay, and it just started raining, so I was very lucky, so I have to pack this up and go into my car.